Welcome to Module 7, IATF Audit Process. Training Objective. In this module, we'll understand how the IATF 16949 audit and certification process works. We'll cover the role of certification bodies, different stages of audits, handling nonconformities, and some practical tips for audit readiness. Target audience. This is meant for all employees, especially those working with QMS, Quality Management System, processes, managers, internal auditors. Training duration. This session usually takes 2 to 3 hours, including time for questions and group discussions. So let's begin. Let's begin with a basic understanding of the IATF audit process. What is an IATF audit? It's a systematic, independent, and documented process used to collect and evaluate evidence objectively. The goal is to confirm whether our systems meet the IATF 16949 requirements, including any customer-specific requirements. Why do we need audits? There are 4 main reasons. 1. Verify compliance. To make sure our QMS is aligned with IATF 16949 standards. 2. Drive improvement. It helps us find opportunities to improve. 3. Maintain certification. Without audits, we can't retain or renew our certification. 4. Customer confidence. Certification shows customers that we have reliable and consistent quality processes. Key players involved are the organization being audited, US, the certification body, and the IATF oversight offices. Example, you can think of an audit as a quality health check for our entire system, not just a product. An external expert, auditor, comes in to verify if we are doing what we claim, and if it matches the IATF standard. Now let's look at IATF certification, what it means and why it matters. IATF 16949. The standard, it is the Global Quality Management System standard specifically designed for the automotive industry. It builds upon ISO 9001 and adds automotive-specific requirements. What is certification? It's a formal recognition provided by an independent certification body, which confirms that your QMS complies with IATF 16949. Let's now understand the benefits of IATF certification. Mandatory for automotive suppliers. If you want to work with big OEMs, original equipment manufacturers, like Maruti, Hyundai, or Toyota, then IATF certification is often a must-have. Improved quality and efficiency. The structured systems improve consistency, reduce errors, and enhance process effectiveness. Reduced waste and costs. Proactively solving problems helps cut down on rework and resource wastage. Enhanced customer satisfaction. Delivering consistent quality builds trust and loyalty with customers. Global recognition. IATF 16949 is accepted worldwide in the automotive supply chain. Competitive advantage. Certification helps an organization stand out in the market. Let's take an example to understand the importance of IATF certification. Many leading automotive OEMs like Maruti Suzuki, Tata Motors, and Mahindra in India require their Tier 1 suppliers to be IATF 16949 certified. Without this certification, suppliers are not even eligible to bid for business with these OEMs. And it's not just Tier 1 suppliers. Even Tier 2 suppliers are now being asked to get certified, showing how crucial this standard has become in the supply chain. Now, let's discuss as a group. Why is IATF certification important for our organization? How does it benefit us? Please share your thoughts. In this section, we'll look at certification bodies, CBs, and their important role in IATF 16949 certification. Certification bodies are independent, accredited organizations recognized by the IATF oversight offices. Their job is to conduct audits as per the IATF standard. Some well-known CBs are TUVSUD, Bureau Veritas, DNVGL, SGS, BSI, and Intertek. Their key roles include 1. Conducting audits. They handle Stage 1, Stage 2, surveillance, and recertification audits. 2. Issuing certificates. Once the audit is successfully completed, they issue the IATF 16949 certificate. 3. Maintaining impartiality. They must stay neutral. For example, they cannot consult and certify the same client. 4. Employing qualified auditors. Their auditors should be IATF qualified and have automotive industry experience. 5. Following IATF rules, they must comply with the rules for achieving and maintaining IATF 16949 recognition. To help you understand the role of a certification body better, here's an example. Imagine an umpire in a cricket match. The umpire is independent, ensures both teams play by the rules, and makes unbiased decisions. Similarly, the certification body, CB, ensures your organization follows the IATF standard and audits you fairly without favoritism. Now let's move to a quick activity/discussion. Ask the audience, does anyone know which certification body audits our organization? And what have your experiences been with their auditors? Encourage participants to share real experiences, both good and challenging ones. This makes the topic more relatable and engaging. Now, let's talk about the stages of the certification audit under IATF 16949. When a company goes for initial certification, it undergoes a two-stage audit process. Let's understand Stage 1 audit, also called the Readiness Review or Document Review. Purpose: this stage is meant to check whether the organization is ready to move on to Stage 2. It mainly involves a review of documents and overall systems. Duration usually takes 1 to 2 days, depending on the size and complexity of the organization. Activities involved in Stage 1: reviewing the quality manual, quality policy, and quality objectives. Reviewing major procedures like internal audit, management review, control plan, FMEA, document control, and record retention. Checking the scope of the quality management system, QMS, and any site-specific requirements. Reviewing results of internal audits and management reviews. Talking with key team members about QMS implementation. Finally, assessing facility readiness and availability of necessary resources. This stage is crucial as it helps the organization fix gaps before moving to Stage 2, where the actual system implementation is checked. Now let's move to Stage 2 of the IATF certification audit, also known as the main audit or on-site audit. Output of Stage 1. Before we go further, remember that Stage 1 produces a report which highlights any nonconformities. These must be resolved before Stage 2. If major issues are found, Stage 2 may get postponed. Stage 2. Audit. Purpose: this stage checks how effectively the quality management system, QMS, is implemented. It's a deep dive across all departments and processes to ensure compliance with IATF 16949 and customer-specific requirements. Duration: the audit can take anywhere from 3 to 10+ days, depending on how big and complex the organization is and how many shifts they operate. Key activities: process audits. Auditors trace the full process flow, from order receipt to delivery, or from raw material intake to the final product. Evidence collection. They review records like production logs, inspection results, training records, maintenance logs, calibration certificates, and also conduct employee interviews. Corrective action verification. They check if issues identified in Stage 1 have been properly resolved. Focus on core tools. Strong emphasis is placed on IATF core tools like APQP, PPAP, FMEA, MSA, SPC, and control plans. Customer-specific requirements, CSRs. Auditors will do an in-depth check to see if CSRs from customers like Ford, GM, or Toyota are being followed properly. This stage is hands-on and involves real-time assessment, unlike Stage 1, which is more documentation-focused. This slide explains what happens after both Stage 1 and Stage 2 audits are completed. Output. The output of the audit process is a report. This includes any nonconformities and opportunities for improvement found during the audit. Certification decision. Once the audit report is complete, it's not the auditor who decides whether certification is granted. Instead, an independent committee at the certification body, CB, makes the final decision based on the audit report. Example to clarify. Stage 1. Example. The auditor checks your documentation, for example, the quality manual and your internal audit procedure. They will ask, do you have a process for internal audits? Have you actually done those audits? Have management reviews been conducted? Stage 2 example. Now the auditor is on the shop floor. They observe the operator's work. Ask them questions like, what are your work instructions? Check if they're following the control plan. Review inspection records for the part being produced. Ask questions about the quality policy. They might even select a nonconformity from the past and trace the entire corrective action taken. Discussion prompt. Imagine the auditor is coming tomorrow for Stage 2. What's one specific document or process you would want to ensure is perfect in your area? This activity is meant to help participants reflect on weak spots or areas of concern they might want to strengthen before the real audit. This slide explains the ongoing process of maintaining IATF 16949 certification through surveillance and recertification audits. Maintaining certification. Getting certified once is not enough. IATF 16949 requires you to consistently demonstrate compliance through regular follow-up audits. 4.1 Surveillance audits. Frequency. These audits are conducted annually, usually within 9 months of your last audit decision. Purpose. The goal is to ensure your quality management system, QMS, is still being maintained and even improved over time. Scope. These audits don't cover everything at once. Instead, they focus on portions of your QMS and rotate over the 3-year certification cycle. Key focus areas include past nonconformities, top management commitment, internal audits, management reviews, customer satisfaction. Duration. These audits are generally shorter than the full Stage 2 audit. Output. A formal audit report is generated. Any nonconformities found must be closed within specific deadlines, or your certification could be at risk. This slide is about nonconformities, what they are, and how they are classified in IATF audits. What is a nonconformity? NC. A nonconformity is a failure to meet a requirement. In IATF audits, it could mean not complying with a clause of IATF 16949, failing a customer-specific requirement, or not following your own documented process. Types of nonconformities. 1. Major nonconformity. These are serious issues. They affect the QMS's ability to deliver intended results. Examples: systemic failure, breakdown of a core process. Many minor NCs tied to one issue, missing a critical CSR, customer-specific requirement, impact, can lead to suspension of certification or delay in getting certified. Second minor nonconformity. These are less serious. They don't affect the QMS's capability directly. Examples: a small deviation from procedure, a typo or clerical error, a one-time isolated incident, Still needs corrective action, but won't impact certification unless repeated. This slide explains the step-by-step process followed once a nonconformity, NC, is found during an IATF audit. Let's quickly walk through each of the 8 steps. 1. Identification. The auditor finds the NC and documents it, clearly mentioning which requirement was not met. 2. Containment. Immediate action is taken to control the damage, like stopping production, reworking the product, or initiating a recall. 3rd correction. Fix the specific issue that was found. For example, if there's a defective part, it gets repaired or replaced. 4th root cause analysis. RCA. This is a critical step. Use tools like 5 whys or fishbone diagrams to identify the real reason behind the problem, not just the symptom. 5. Corrective action. CA. Based on the root cause, take action that ensures this issue doesn't happen again. It's about fixing the system, not just the product. 6th. Implementation. The corrective action is put into practice across the process or system. 7. Verification of effectiveness. This is a crucial follow-up. We check whether the action actually solved the problem and prevented recurrence. The CB auditor will verify this in the next audit. 8. Closure. If everything is effective, the auditor closes the NC. This slide focuses on timelines for closing nonconformities and includes examples of both minor and major NCs. Timelines. IATF requires a response within 5 days and closure within 60 to 90 days, depending on how serious the NC is and the certification body's rules. Missing these timelines can lead to certification suspension or withdrawal, so strict compliance is critical. Let's look at 2 examples. Minor NC example. An auditor finds one calibration certificate that's a few days overdue. Correction. The equipment is calibrated immediately. Root cause. Planner forgot the due date. Corrective action. Update the calibration schedule and add email reminders. Verification. At the next audit, verify that the reminders are working and no further calibrations are overdue. Major NC. Example. Auditor finds that the entire PPAP production part approval process for a critical part was completely skipped and the customer never approved the part. This is a systemic issue. Correction. Stop all shipments. Initiate PPAP urgently. Root cause. No ownership and poor adherence to procedure. Corrective action. Train staff on PPAP. Implement gate reviews. Add PPAP to management reviews. Activity, discussion. End with an engaging question. Think of a nonconformity you've encountered. Was the root cause properly identified? What was the corrective action, and how was its effectiveness verified? Speaker note, English. This slide offers practical tips for beginners to get ready for IATF audits. These tips are simple but powerful if followed properly. Mindset. Don't be afraid of the auditor. Think of them as a partner who's helping you improve and spot compliance gaps. A positive mindset can change how you handle the audit experience. Know your role. Every person should understand how their role fits into the quality management system. QMS. Ask yourself, how does my job impact quality? Know your processes. Be clear on the procedures and work instructions for your daily tasks. Don't assume. Know exactly what's expected. Documentation is key. This is critical. If something isn't documented, auditors will assume it didn't happen. Keep records complete, correct, and easy to retrieve. Walk the talk. Don't just say you follow procedures, actually follow them. Auditors respect honesty and consistency. Practice internal audits. Treat internal audits seriously. It's your chance to identify and fix issues before the real audit. Management review. Top management should be involved, not just in meetings, but also in driving improvements and tracking performance. Customer-specific requirements, CSRs. Understand the CSRs that apply to your customer and product. These are important in the IATF audit. Encourage the audience. If they follow even half of these points seriously, they'll be far better prepared and confident for any audit. During an audit, your approach and behavior matter as much as your technical knowledge. Let's walk through the key points. Be honest. If you don't know an answer, don't guess. Say you don't know and direct the auditor to someone who does. It's better to admit than to mislead. Provide evidence. Don't just say you do something. Show proof. For example, instead of saying, "We do daily checks," show the actual checklist signed by the operator. Don't argue, explain. If the auditor misunderstands, don't get defensive. Calmly explain the process and show supporting documents. Listen carefully. Always listen to the question fully before answering. Make sure you understand what's being asked. Take notes. Write down important points, especially findings and potential nonconformities. This helps in follow-up and corrective actions. Stay calm. A calm and composed attitude helps clear communication and avoids confusion. Let's take a quick example. If an auditor asks, "How do you know this part meets specification?" Zrania, a poor answer would be, "I just know." A better answer would be something like, "I check it with this caliper against the drawing, and the limit is X. I record it here on this sheet." Finally, think about this. What's one thing you can do today to be more audit-ready in your daily work? Let's reflect and discuss. Let's wrap up Module 7 with some key takeaways and a quick Q&A. IATF certification is mandatory for many automotive suppliers. It's a standard that ensures quality and consistency. CBs, certification bodies, are independent agencies that perform multi-stage audits to confirm that a company complies with IATF standards. Stage 1 is about readiness, checking if the organization is prepared for the audit. Stage 2 is full implementation, where systems and practices are thoroughly evaluated. Surveillance audits and recertification audits help ensure continued compliance over time. When nonconformities are found, they must be addressed through root cause analysis and corrective actions, not just quick fixes. Audit readiness isn't something we prepare for at the last minute. It should be part of our daily mindset and culture. Remember, the goal of an audit is not to catch mistakes, but to help improve our processes. It allows us to identify gaps, strengthen our quality management system, and ultimately deliver better products and services to our customers. Now, let's open the floor for any questions or comments you may have.